Okay, our problem here is that we have no, if we look right up in here, this is the mix door that takes either outside air or moves from outside air. This is the position the door would be in if you have no vacuum. So it would be shut, so you could never go to recirc. If once the vacuum, it can adjust to here, the mid position, or it can go to close the outside air and be on full recirc, the fan, and then this is the way the air goes. I'll zoom in there. As you can see, the unit that's on here is a dual vacuum unit that pulls vacuum, and it adjusts the actual intake door to wherever it needs to be. If you go into recirc, you hit the recirc button and there's no change, you probably is that this unit, being my 88, being as old as it is, was rotted. And so what I did was bought a Dorman online. It just came from actually Amazon, and that one had dual vacuum lines. So when you come down here, these are the two units. These are the solenoids that operate that one, and so these work just fine. Your supply line comes in for your vacuum, comes through your firewall, and it comes over here and it supplies both of these. And as these fire by your automatic climate control, that adjusts your door. So we're going to replace this guy up here with that Dorman that we found on Amazon that is a dual vacuum pull, and see what happens. What we have here is the air box. I've removed the motor out of the bottom. This air box is out of an 88-300ZX. The door flap, if I turn this over so you can see it, I'm starting to take it apart so we can look at it. But the door flap, the way that it works inside the flap is when this moves, and it's moved by vacuum. If you look down inside, you can see the door actually moves. Well, if we look at the old pieces of the valve, we can see why it's not moving. It's all cracked. The one piece, and it's a dual. So I bought this Dorman, and you can see the two vacuum lines, has the pole on it, and we're going to try to install this to pull the actual door so that we can get the mix correct. Right now it's stuck on outside air, and then if this comes open, you can see it's going away from there. That is the recirc. When you pull it out, that's new foam that I put on it, but it pulls it to a mix. And then if it goes all the way up, this is the top section, which is the section that goes from outside air. So to go into recirc, it needs to come all the way up. So let's see what we can do here, and I'll post some more here in a second. Okay, this is the bracket that I manufactured. It was just a piece of angle iron, grounded out, jigsaw. So now if we look at this piece, you can see that it goes on there and snaps on. So if we look the way I have this, it drops onto those, and then up here that goes onto the pull. So you can see underneath it's on my bracket. Now it's just sitting on there right now. So what my plan is to put support with maybe some tie wraps or something to hold it on there, so you don't want it to flex like this. So if I put a tie wrap around here and pull underneath, it should hold it pretty straight. And then we can test it with the vacuum pump, make sure that the door works right. And then once you hook it up, it's the same vacuum, it's just from your engine. Okay, so everything's back in. I did learn a little something. I'll show you up in there what the final looks like. But the bracket I made was unnecessary because the actual vacuum unit could not fit in there. So if you just attach it, put it back up in there, it sits right up against where it needs to be and pulls just great. A picture of what it looks like up inside the car. Let me grab my flashlight. So hopefully you can see it. There it is, sitting up inside, and you can see where it's pulling. I just attached it, and then these two, I put a little piece of glue, mounted the two solenoid valves, as you can see, so that they're right there. Vacuum comes in, and so you can see back in there. This unit works great. I tested it, watched it stroke from recirc to the mid position to fully outside air, which is the position it's in right now. If you look at the pull spring right there, hopefully you can see that. All right, so this is a Dorman. You can get it online. It's a dual, and even if you get one out of a junkyard, it's probably going to not last that long. This is a brand new unit. Worst case, you know, you could put a new one in you know, another 10 years or so if it starts to leak. But there's no vacuum leaks now on that one. So the next thing is maybe the ones behind. I got to remove the dash, but I got to get the two behind because they're also have vacuum leaks. So right now I'm just running a straight vacuum line over to keep it blowing out the front vents. All right, and hopefully that'll help you. Bye.